One of the nonprofit organizations helping out in the relief efforts for victims of Typhoon Odette is Oxfam Pilipinas. We're now joined by the group's senior manager for programs and partnerships, Maria Theresa Abogado. Nice to see you, Maria Theresa. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Carmina. Good afternoon to you and Merry Christmas. Please call me Niña for short.
Niña, what are we hearing from the ground? What's the assessment by Oxfam Pilipinas?
According to official records and assessment since day zero, around 3.5 million Filipinos or 870 families are in dire need of food, shelter kit, water, sanitation, hygiene, cooking utensils, sleeping mats. Power shortage have been affecting a lot of the communities, and signals are very intermittent, so communication is a bit struggle to in terms of coordination.
And what has Oxfam done as soon as you were able to go to the ground and help these people? Tell us about the efforts that you've been doing.
Together with our local partners and in close coordination with local government, we have also started to distribute solar kit in southern Leyte, particularly those areas affected by electricity damages or power shortages. Currently, efforts in Surigao del Norte, particularly the 9 municipalities affected by typhoon, are receiving life-saving assistance such as food, water interventions, water container with purifier, water tanking, emergency shelter kits, and even sleeping mats. So we have been supporting the local government in Surigao del Norte, initially in the first phase for 9 municipalities. And as we expand and hear more reports, we are closely coordinating how we can support, especially those far-flung islands that cannot be reached as of now.
Okay, we know the reports coming from Cebu and Bohol. At least we're talking to our correspondents out there in the field, and they're in dire need of generators to power up water districts so that water can be pumped into the city again. But you mentioned solar kits. I think this can be beneficial to the homes. Tell us about what these solar kits can do and how it can help those affected by Typhoon Odette. Niña.
Given that electricity is really one of the immediate need of families affected by the typhoon. So Oxfam have started to distribute solar kits that could power their homes. We've also provided solar lamps, so it would serve as their light during night, at the same time to ensure that we will also combat or address potential security issues. So communities have been trained how to use solar kit, and even without because we think that the restoration of power would really take months to restore. Having solar kits, you have free electricity from the benefit of solar kit, and at the same time it's free. They don't have to spend fuel, and it's very efficient and affordable to them.
Niña, when you talk about situations like this, I know that Oxfam also thinks about, the security, as you mentioned a while ago, of those who are vulnerable, particularly women and children. What have you specifically done to address this so that, it won't be double whammy for those affected by Typhoon Odette, Niña?
Yes, that's right, Carmina. And in Oxfam, that is one of our core priority every time we perform humanitarian support. As shared a while ago, electricity or solar kit is one of the intervention to ensure that there would be protection, there would be safety and security in the household or even in the evacuation center wherever the families are staying. Second is that we continuously to gather data on protection issues to ensure that possible gender-based violence or issues would be addressed. Coupled with it, always our psychosocial support services provided in these communities where these are needed.
So far, which areas have you reached? Odette, I'm sorry, Niña, can you please run us through the list of the areas that you've reached so far?
Okay. Our priority, Carmina, are the two hardest hit provinces. One is Surigao del Norte, particularly prioritizing Siargao and other 9 municipalities. And in southern, Central Visayas rather, southern Leyte. So these two areas have been supported by Oxfam. To ensure that the target communities most vulnerable and not yet reached by other humanitarian assistance would have access to life-saving support.
We know that we're talking to you on Christmas Eve, and that doesn't mean that work will stop. Work continues for you, even after the holidays.
Yes.
Tell us about
how many continuously work.
How many people do you have out in the field helping?
We work with local partners and local governments. So sometimes it's not just the total size or number of Oxfam or partners, but we have more hands through volunteers and partners working on the ground, round the clock since day 0 of Typhoon Odette. And hopefully in the coming days, there would also be other organizations that we can tap locally so that humanitarian assistance can be quickly served in these communities. And because one of the core priority and advocacy of Oxfam is to support local humanitarian leadership, so we work closely with local governments to support distribution of life-saving aid.
All right. We appreciate you coming to the show and talking to us, Niña. Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for all that you do. And I'm sure we're going to talk again in the coming days as we, work together to help all these areas affected by the storm to get back on their feet. Thanks again for joining us. Take care and you keep safe.
Thank you, Carmina. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Appreciate it.